Live from the Views from the Chair podcast. We back again. Shout out to all the listeners, all the watchers on YouTube. Y'all doing y'all thing.
Hey, if I get a girlfriend, do our girlfriends have to be friends?
I mean, I would think if we talk every day, they would at least talk through us, and then I mean, eventually they would probably get cool enough if.
I don't know if I would want them to have like solo friendships.
Yeah, that's why I said through us. So just
Yeah.
to make get that out of the
They're
way.
not like making moves and like maybe like bridal party stuff and shit like that, but like not like weekends out, you know?
Yeah, that's the key is the key was definitely through us.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
I don't know. I don't really get too close with my girls' friends,
Boyfriends?
boyfriends or husbands. Yeah, I don't know what that is. I don't know. Maybe because I just got my friends already. So
What about like if you guys get married and then you have like brother-in-laws? Because then like that's like also like your girl's sister's husband would be your brother-in-law now. Because I feel like brother-in-laws are pretty tight.
Not from what I understand, but a matter of fact, now that I'm thinking about it, yeah, they are. So.
They are. They're pretty tight. Brother-in-laws are usually pretty tight.
Yeah. So I guess so.
Because you don't think of it from a kid perspective because you just think like uncles. But like most of them are just brother-in-laws.
Yeah.
Unless you're in like a weird situation like you.
How's that?
Because like your dads are brothers.
Oh yeah.
So like they are your uncles.
Yeah.
Like, either way. But like let's say like Mike
That's
and
why
Mike.
I was thinking about it. Like I don't know, and then I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah. No. Like. I'm trying to think. Like your mom's husband is brother-in-laws with AJ's stepdad.
Mm-hmm.
But then AJ's stepdad's also brother-in-laws with Kyle's dad.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. So wild web.
Yeah. So I guess so. I don't know. I think we talked about friends with.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm good. Like, well, that's different. When we talked about, we were talking about like if you had a girlfriend, would you like a friend that's a girl? Would you hang out with their boyfriend? And I said, yeah, I wouldn't care.
Oh yeah. Probably not doing that.
I wouldn't care because like that's also like you want to be like, you also want to make sure they realize you're not a threat. You know what I mean?
I mean, you could look at it like that, but I felt like it would be even a little more weirder if I'm trying to be your friend at the same time.
Yeah,
I mean, if it had been organically, that's cool. But
I wouldn't have a double friendship, but like I'd be friendly.
What's considered a double friendship?
Like I'm not doing a split 50-50, like where I can be like equal friends with everyone that's in the joint, because that's a lot. Like how am I? You can't be equal friends with a couple.
No, it's impossible.
You know? It's not like I come over your house and now I'm 50% friends with Lex and then 50% friends with you. That would be weird.
Yeah.
It's a weird right down the middle.
Yeah, it wouldn't work. It would be weird.
Yeah, it would be weird because you can't really be if you're friends to both, you can't be friends to either kind of. You gotta be like cordial friends to one, like surface level friends.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, I think you could be friends, not on the same level. All right, I don't know where I'm going with this. Weekend recap.
I mean, we stumbled into some good shit. I don't know.
Friday night, a good friend of mine came over. We ended up getting pretty banged up. We hit the new bar down the street, or down. I'm not gonna downstairs. I was with a couple friends. And one of them got approached by a gay fella and didn't realize he was gay. It's just like, you know, I got
sorry. How would you react?
I feel like I got pretty solid gay. Bro, I'm so comfortable now. Like, I don't, that shit that, like, I talk to gay fellas, I don't care.
Not talk to him, but get hit on. How you
then that's where it is. It's like, I think, like, you have to be very, like, aware of what's happening in a situation and, like, not give them any wiggle room. Like, bro, don't do that. Like this isn't what we're doing here, bud. Like I'll be friendly with you, but don't. Oh, so like, what are you into? Nah, bro.
Are you taking like offense to that? Like they thought you was gay?
I know. I don't think I would
be as straight men assuming that they think. that when they try to talk to us.
Yeah, I don't think I would take offense, like if they thought I was a gay person.
Mm-hmm.
But like if they were forward and yo, you look kind of handsome, then I'd be like, yo, come on, dog. Like,
Would you ever accept a endearing compliment from a gay guy?
I'm sure I have before,
Okay.
or
I
maybe
would
not
say
even notice.
knowingly, like,
I don't
oh,
think
you look
no,
handsome today, sir, or guy, whatever, however they say it.
I'm
And
sure
you just,
like a handsome John, like maybe nice sneakers, something like that. But like, yo, good looking.
right.
Thanks, bud.
Handsome, you offended.
Yeah. Yeah. Anything that has any kind of hint of sexual.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like, come on, bro. Okay, yeah. Because the gays is tricky. Don't give them no wiggle room, dog.
Right.
Don't do that. That motherfucker's
Get
gonna
us
try and go
cancer.
for it.
Don't get us cancer.
Hey, yes, that motherfucker's shit. That motherfucker's crazy. Shit. Nah, but that was funny because my man's like, I knew right off the bat, like, buddy came over too friendly. It was a different kind of friendly. And then he came in hot. He was like, yeah, like I live right across the street. Where do you live?
Ooh.
You. You, gang.
Bomber shit going on.
My man's not even thinking that. He's like, oh no, I live a little ways down the way. He's like, oh, you around here often? Or like, I'm like, all right, you, gang. It was funny too because I saw the switch when it hit his face. It was like from like completely casual conversation to like really like upset about it. Like, all right, dog, like, yo, you got business over here? Like, I'm like, come on, bro, you don't got to do all that shit.
Are you the type to engage in a conversation? Somebody start asking personal questions randomly? Like, oh,
Nah,
where do you work at? Well, blah, blah, blah.
Depends on the setting. At the bar, if I'm drunk, I'm more so like, first of all, if I'm at the bar, if I'm not on a date, I'm with a group of friends already. And I'm not like a go to the bar to have like make new friends guy.
Right.
Like I'm more like go to the bar and hang out with my buddies, catch up, so and so. So I'm like already put off by that. But yeah, I'm not gonna go like super like, oh yeah, this is what I do for my job. But like also then again, like if I'm at like a family cookout and it's somebody's cousin, or if I'm like golfing and they're like, oh yeah, like what are you into? Then I'll go for it. But
right. No, that makes sense. That's funny.
Yeah, but we had a good night. Got pretty banged up. Woke up Saturday. I'm still banged up. I wake up Saturday, got an early tea time, a little banged up. And right off the rip, my nephew, he's 12, he sends me his beat page. It's like, yo, check out my beats. And I was like, oh, I've been waiting for this moment. So I sent him my YouTube page right back. Boom.
Okay.
Check out my video. That was
like the cool uncle in that moment.
Never felt cooler. Never felt cooler, bro. Never felt cooler in my life. Right already, he's like, damn, yo, that's fire, yo. Why you stop? I'm like, yeah, I'm so fucking cool, dog. I'm so sick. Right off the rip, he was like, yeah, you think you could do something for mine? I'm like, yeah, bro, send me a beat, dog. I got you, dog. Don't even worry. I'll throw some shit on there.
The validation from our younger family members is always hilarious.
Oh, it's so funny, dog. Why is a 12-year-old making me feel so cool, dog?
Yeah, mine are still kind of young, but the oldest one out of the bunch definitely hit me with one of the those sneaker conversations, like, oh, where'd you get those? Those are nice. And it's just funny because you like 7 or 8, and you're just like, yeah.
I
guess
I'm still hip. I still got it. Nah, wait till they hit like 12 or so, bro. Like, it's such a fun age because, like,
hilarious.
Especially if they got common interest, because now he likes rap and shit. So I'll be like, yo, you like this. I'm like, dog, shut the fuck up. You know who you talking to? Like,
right.
Or his thing is black ladies now. It's like, bro, you barking up the wrong tree with me, dog. Like, that's not a new endeavor for me. Like, so then I went golfing. Me and my buddy Chris caught up. We hadn't got solo golfed in a while, so that was fun. And then I thought I was having a great day. I was like, yo, let me just keep this train rolling, seeing all my buds, seeing all my friends. I stopped by my buddy John's house, and I was a little intoxicated, and he just hustled me. Hey, white man can't jump me with 2K. And, next thing you know, I'm down fucking $160, and his girlfriend's downstairs making fun of me as well, and I'm just getting bombarded, dog. I got a 12-pack of teas. I could only get 4 down before I had to go back to Philly. I was so fucking embarrassed.
Hey, man. I don't know what to tell you. I felt like my Saturday was amazing.
Bullshit. That's what
got off work early.
It's bullshit.
Came home, relaxed. Had a lick waiting for me. He strolled in with his confident stroll, the Dill stroll, walked in. talked all this shit about beating
Right.
everybody in 2K. Little does he know. Well, he does know. This is the reason we originally stopped.
The last few times we played, I've smoked you.
Money so much.
No, I've been smoking.
I'm just trying to get my story off. I let you get your story off. I'm just trying to get my story off.
No bullshit, dog.
This is why we stopped. But anyways, he says he wants to play. He's been beating his other friends. Cool, slide. Lose your money. Mind you, I haven't played the game in about 3-4 months.
I've never even played it. I never even played it.
I ain't played since 2023, since the new year came. And yeah, lo and behold, he comes over, betting $10, $20 a game. Gets up to 160 somehow. And I advised him you should stop at like 90. He wanted to keep going. So we kept going. And I'm like, it's getting kind of bad here. It's getting kind of bad here.
I had to put the gas on my credit card on the way home. I kind
of told him, like, yo, I'm going to go see Creed. No, I ain't going to go see Creed. I had to stop, you know, like when your man's gambling a little too much. Like,
shit was
I got something to do. Yo, I don't know what I might go see Creed after this one. You know, she just came home, blah, blah. They're like, you know what? That's probably a good time to leave. And I'm glad I did that because the number could have got sky high. And I'm glad I didn't do that. I feel like that was a good friend to you.
I had to cut off. I had to cut off at 300. I was really
oh my god, that would have been bad, yo.
I had a mental cut off.
I probably wouldn't even have took that much from you.
Yeah,
like,
I had a mental cut off at 3. I was gonna because I felt like I was just missing a little bit there, and then I thought about it. I said, you know what? I'm probably just a little too tuned up to really find my rhythm here, you know. And luckily, I had an enticing text message that got me out of there at the right time.
That'll do it.
A lot of hate fucks that night.
That'll do it, man. I'm glad you ended the night with a bang because the way the afternoon started wasn't pretty.
It was a roller coaster of emotions, man. I got that nephew text message, and then I won in golf, and I got smoked for 160. And you know, like I'm riding low. I had to get my mind right on the ride home. And then Sunday I get hit with another lick. My niece comes over and she wants to go to the zoo. And I don't know if you've been in a while.
Haven't.
The shit ain't cheap, dog.
What the zoo prices looking like now?
It was $60 to get in.
Woo!
And then it was like
for kids.
It was $60 between the two of us, and then we got food there. The food for the two of us like $40.
Was it any good?
It was the zoo, bro. Like no. Actually, now I'm thinking of it. No. Because I don't know enough about animals, bro. But maybe some of them motherfuckers leave for the winter or something. It wasn't no giraffes. That's my shit. No giraffes. No hippos. No rhinos. What we here for?
Bad jump.
It was a lion. That motherfucker was roaring and shit. I don't be seeing lions roar. But you know, the zoo kind of sad anyway.
Yeah, they got them motherfuckers in jail. They in jail.
Yeah, them motherfuckers in jail just getting poked at and fucking. They got them lions in studio apartments roaring and shit. Motherfuckers like, oh, why they roaring? The fuck? Oh, yeah. Yo, the fuck you mean, dog?
That shit is fucked up.
Shit. Now I was thinking over the weekend because I watched that South Park episode, and because I think I'm gonna get a bidet, but like, would that make me gay?
I don't think the bidet would make you gay. I also watched the episode after you had told me about it. It's definitely one of the first things me and Dill actually clicked on was watching South Park. Mm-hmm. And he was like, "You watch South? Yeah, I watched South Park," and then just talk about that. But
love South Park.
I watched the episode as well, and we are getting gypped out of a clean ass,
a clean butt.
Yeah,
it is what it is.
Point blank. Period. We getting gypped out of it. I don't know. I don't understand why they put it out to where as though that the toilet paper industry is the reason we don't got them, which makes sense. But if 70s, whatever crazy percent of people don't use toilet paper and they got fucking bidets. I didn't even know they dried your ass. That's kind of amazing to me.
I didn't know there was a dryer. I don't know. That might be some limited edition shit though.
But that's my thing though. Like, all right, so that shit shooting your ass. Pause. Are you walking around with the wet ass or?
That's why I think you keep the toilet paper too. But like maybe it's just a reduction to like one roll lasts you a month.
Right.
You're like, but that episode's damning though if you think about it. 70% of the world doesn't use toilet paper.
Crazy.
70
facts.
A bidet is 95% more effective than toilet paper.
How's that work?
95%. I think every single person that uses toilet paper is walking around with fecal matter in their ass. That's disgusting.
Yeah.
Walking around with poop.
This motherfucker said, I don't have hemorrhoids anymore. I use it. One of the funniest episodes they made in recent times.
Go and get. Motherfuckers started screaming. When I was thinking, like, if I get a bidet, like, when people come over, they're going to be like, yo, what the fuck? Like, yo.
Nah, I think it's not necessarily a status symbol, but it shows a sign of, like, these people are fucking serious about cleaning their ass.
Get this motherfucker clean, dog.
Because there are people, I mean, we talking about it. I don't know why we starting the pod with shit, but it is people that get in the shower immediately after.
100%.
That don't have sex after they shit. It's all types of shit. So it makes sense to have a bidet on hand.
Yeah.
And it was interesting to see they even got the ball cleaner. That's wild. That's wild. But I guess it makes sense for the women because they got a couple hoes they gotta take care of. So yeah,
I'm sold, man. I think I'm gonna get one.
Yeah, definitely don't mean this gay. That's okay. We on the topic. Let's take the pod to the next level. Would you consider that? Why would you ask, is it gay?
That's just a stigma around it. It's the same way like you wouldn't let a John eat you out.
Okay, but then there's people that do though.
Yeah, 100%. They get jokes.
Okay. All right. I mean, there's some people pretty open about it and look down upon it. We were on the same freshman basketball team. We heard an older guy that said, "Nah, what you talking about? That is the most crazy feeling." And we did look at him crazy.
We did.
And we judged him.
Rest in peace.
But out there, man.
Yeah, I do think there's a stigma around it. I'm not really sure why there would be a stigma around having good hygiene, though. So I'm sold on it. It is what it is. I guess like you would just also, I'm one of my buddies that say, well, I always keep wet wipes. And that's fine as long as you live in like a complex. But like if you're a homeowner like you, I think maybe your situation, you guys might have a group septic. But like if you have a septic tank, that shit's supposed to be really bad for your septic tank.
It's kind of definitely advised against the wet wipes.
Yeah, so it's like that's kind of like flushing tampons and whatnot.
I was definitely a big wet wipe guy, and then I just try to keep it the softest material. But if we get into the bidet game, it's a game changer. I think I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, I'm buying one. I was already looking on Amazon, and they fluctuate in prices, man. You could get one for $50, you get one for $150. You could buy a whole toilet. It doesn't matter. Like So, man, you can get the heated ones. You get like this.
Heated toilets is crazy.
Yeah, I've done my research on it. Damn, that just threw me off. Where'd you want to go after that?
We could start with the job update. We got a little job update. We could transition into something after that.
John Morant update, 5,000. John Morant, out indefinitely, and there's reports coming that he won't come back for the rest of the season.
Yeah, it's kind of fucked up.
Dex, I think they hook it up to the Dex asked, where's the water come for the bidet? I think they hook it up to the same spot, like it plugs into the top, or the twist in part into the back of your toilet. You can like they give you the John that you twist into the water source, just to where like your sink would get it from.
Yeah, you're not getting toilet water with shit in it plugged in yet. Like that's not shooting.
Nah, it's like it's fresh from the spout, so it's a good source.
Good tap.
Yeah, it's fresh tap. I mean, you could probably get it purified if you wanted to. Yeah. John Morant comes out. He's probably out for the rest of the season. Strip club releases the pictures of him sitting in a room just showered with money and just one stripper on him. I thought that was swag. I wasn't mad at that.
Yeah, I don't think anybody was mad at that. That was probably the most disappointing part of the new update of Ja is that somebody actually bought this footage and put pictures out from the footage. I don't understand why the establishment would do that. If he just spent $50,000 in the night and y'all gonna put him on blast like this, what are we doing? Why are we showing what's going on in the we know what goes on in the strip club. We didn't need the visual. Yeah,
from my understanding, it got leaked from the police investigation. Because they investigated for the gun. Because if you notice that the owner came out right afterwards and was like, "Yeah, great dude. We had no problems with him. Wasn't super intoxicated, nothing like that. Very polite, good customer."
Because I've seen a lot of people bashing the establishment, but that makes more sense that the police would leak it. For what reason, I have no idea. I don't know if they try and get him in more trouble or what, but what more trouble could you get in after that?
Yeah, so I guess to keep the Josh shit short, since we talked about it so much, is it sounds like he's at a treatment facility in Florida now, and he might be out the rest of the year. They haven't disclosed what his issue is, but if fuck it, we got a podcast. If I'm going to assume if you're going to a treatment center for the rest of the year, I don't think that's just mental health. He's probably.
I believe it was alcohol. I think they put it out.
They said alcohol at first, and then I saw this next report. It said undisclosed.
Yeah, and unfortunately lost his Powerade deal. They pulling his ads. Not sure if he lost his deal, but they pulling his Powerade ad, which kind of sucks because Powerade just relaunched, and Job was one of the faces of the company, and sadly he's out of that now.
Tighten up, buddy.
Yeah,
tighten up. From there, we wanted to go into one of my favorite old school players that I never got to see. Shawn Kemp was in the news last week.
Yep.
Shawn Kemp swag, man. If you watch those highlights, he's just a cool player. And he's also one of those guys that, like, I got tricked into thinking he had a shorter run than he did.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they make it seem like he had a 5-year run. He had, like, a 10-year run. Yeah. It's just because he fizzled out after he left the Sonics. Yeah. He left the Sonics when he was, like, 33, 34. Like, that's regular.
Consistent career.
But it comes out first that he shot at somebody in, like, a drive-by. Mm-hmm. And then reports come out afterwards that somebody broke into his car.
Right.
And they stole a bunch of shit out of it, including his iPhone. So he turned on the iPhone tracker, pulls up to them motherfuckers in a shopping center, walks down on them. The dude busted him, so he busts back. Swag.
Yeah.
Swag.
Yeah. I think the part that fucked him up was the fact that he circled the lot after he shot, tossed his gun, and then went to talk to police. I think that was probably the most fucked up part. But I feel like
old habits die hard, right, buddy?
Yeah. I'm wondering why he's. I don't even know if he's still in custody, but I feel like that was the most fucked up part. That people would have just been like, "Yo, somebody stole my shit. I walked down. They shot at me. I shot back. Sorry, I'm Stone Kemp. I'm pretty sure y'all gonna give me a little discount. I did a lot for this state. I hope for y'all. Let me rock." I'm not sure what happened with that situation though. It's kind of crazy to see how also some players were portrayed, because you were portrayed that Shawn Kemp wasn't well with his money because he had some alleged addictions to drugs, and he's in a Panamera. 15, 20 years out of the league, so apparently he's doing pretty good for himself.
Yeah, so I read a pretty in-depth article about Shawn Kemp years back, like 10 or so years ago now, and after his retirement and he cleaned his life up a little bit, he invested in a few different things. He's got a few different businesses out there, because I believe he's still in Seattle.
Yep.
So he was doing well for himself 10 years ago, and he had some real estate and businesses. So I imagine 10 years ago, before everything boomed up, I'm sure he's in a good spot.
Yeah, well wishes to Shawn Kemp. Hope he get that shit sorted out.
Yeah, Shawn Kemp, man. Shout out to him. Dude, we didn't talk about this pre-show. Would you see that video of Michael B. Jordan and what the fuck is that other guy's name? Jonathan Majors. Of that reporter walking by and they all look at her butt.
Yeah.
That shit's so funny. Yeah. What's the backlash with them taking little funny pictures together and shit? Like, I keep seeing this backlash, like, oh, you see how they're sitting, or why they posted up like this, or blah blah. It's like
more BS. Like, are they gay rumors? I mean, I guess guys can't hang out anymore. I don't
take fucking cool pictures. Like, I don't like. And the other shit is like, I saw this shit with like black culture, and I'm not gonna go into it because I'm white. But like white rock stars and like athletes, they motherfuckers take pictures like that all the time, dog. It's not.
But I'm sure they get the gay shit, but I think it's so few of us that it's easy to see all the percentage of people that's saying, "Oh, they gay," than it is to see the white people saying, "Oh, they're gay." I'm pretty sure they get the same backlash, but just because it's 13% of us,
yeah, fair enough.
So much easier to see that shit. I also like when they say, "We're the only culture that tear each other down." I hate that narrative as well, because it's the same thing. We fuck with our culture. We don't really look at what people say about Taylor Swift or whoever the fucking popular people are. I'm pretty sure they got haters just as much as the biggest rappers and the biggest artists or singer, whatever it is. But we're not looking for it, so obviously we're not going to see it. I always hated that narrative.
I was going to say, you could tell how many people hated Machine Gun Kelly when he had his run like last year, 2 years ago. How many people hate Bieber?
Man, it's not real rock and roll, blah, blah.
Yeah, 100% poser.
Bieber doesn't make real pop music. He's whatever he's doing. I feel like if you want to find it, you'll find it if you're looking for it. But it's not on black people radar. So when black people say that, that's the most annoying shit I can hear.
Yeah, I agree. No, but I feel like it's kind of. I think it's stupid the whole argument of them like being around a lot. Like obviously they're on a fucking press run for the biggest sports movie ever. Just had like one of the best openings ever. So I don't know where the fuck that's coming from.
And they came at him for the ebony cover, I think it was that he did.
Yeah, yep, that's what it was.
He
Yep.
had the whatever clothes on, but again, man, he doesn't have to do this shit. I don't think he's at the point where he's like where he wasn't happy with what he had to wear. He just wore this shit. Oh, this is the direction y'all going, and this the inspiration is from. Cool, let's rock. Let's do it. I mean, I feel like he's becoming a star right before us. What was the show he had on HBO?
Something Lane.
Scary shit.
What the fuck was that show?
I can't remember it off the top.
Love County, something like that.
Love Country. Okay. Yeah, good show. He's in the Marvel universe now. Now he's in Creed. Couple other movies. Yeah, he's on his way, man. I don't think he was putting
he's doing well for himself.
That he had to look feminine. They always demasculized the black man. I don't think he was Lovecraft Country. That's what it was. Shout out to Dex. But yeah, I don't think he was in a position to where as though they trying to feminize the black man and make him look feminine in that moment. I hate
do
that.
Love
it's like a BS narrative.
Yeah, I love when this point comes up every year and they start talking about feminization of black men, and then it's like a fucking cycle. They do this for 3 days, and then
nobody cares.
Somebody starts posting the pictures of the R&B groups from the 70s or the rock groups from the 60s or Wilt Chamberlain in front of his mansion in a fucking blouse. Right. And it's like, yo, like motherfuckers been dressing sassy, dog. Like that's called fashion.
Right. And I mean, that's the other problem. Majority of people not into high fashion. Me personally, I'm not into high fashion, but I know what the fuck is going on. This motherfucker's in some high fashion. That's the shit they do. I'm not mad at that.
I don't get it.
I didn't care when Kanye and them wore kilts. I'm like, oh, Kanye's just into some different type of fashion shit.
Hey, did you yeah, I agree. Anything else to add to that?
No, I mean it was just corny again.
Do you think Angela Bassett got robbed? There's a backlash right now with Angela Bassett got robbed at the Academy Awards because she didn't win Best Supporting Actress for her role in Wakanda Forever, which I did end up watching a few weeks ago and was a pretty good movie, I thought.
I didn't see what Jamie Lee played in though.
See, and that's the shit. So I saw like the big backlash of it of like, yo, like, damn, that's crazy. They robbed her. I can't believe Jamie Lee. And then I go, well, what the fuck movie was Jamie Lee in? Mm-hmm. And then I looked at what movie it was, and I was like, oh, the movie that's won every fucking award the last 12 months. Every single award, like clean sweep almost. I think the only thing they didn't get was Best Actor. They got Best Supporting Actress, Best Supporting Actor, like Best fucking Cinematography, like Best Director, like all this different shit. And not just this one, like every award show. Like this is supposed to be an all-time fucking movie.
What was the movie?
It's Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. And it's
honestly, I think that's the only thing people get annoyed with is that like even when it comes to Best Picture, it's always a movie that nobody's heard of. I've never heard of that movie.
But this is the thing. I would have been on the same page with you about a month ago, and then there's another award show where that shit won everything, and I was like, "What the fuck movie is that?" And I texted my college group chat and was like, "Yo, like anybody?" And everybody's like, "How the fuck have you not heard of that?" I was the only person in the whole chat, except for Shane, I think, that didn't watch it. Everybody's like, "Dog, fucking fire."
But also, that probably go to the thing that I was saying earlier is that because it's black people outraged, but it's probably like we don't check for that. So of course we thinking biggest box office, blah blah. Black Panther did all this, and this, but these people looking at it from a different perspective when they doing these award shows, especially when they judging movies. I never understand how they judge movies. They judge them a whole different way than the audience judge it. We could see that from Rotten Tomatoes. We could think something's 1,000.
100%.
We like this shit -50. This shit is ass. So I think in her case, from what I'm hearing, I feel like that's what it is. Her role in Black Panther was cool, but it wasn't like a.
Bro, this shit
I think they're more upset that she never won one. So they thought it was her moment, like a Will Smith type shit. Like, all right, finally, this is the moment. And I mean, it happened. I mean, the same thing happens with Leo. Leo's, I don't think he still won an Oscar, right?
I think Leo ended up getting one. I forget where he got it though.
Maybe so. But yeah, I get it, but at the same time, it's like I'm not a movie critic. I don't watch every movie. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I know what the best movie of the year is. I could
The
talk to
Rev-
you about some rapping music, but
the Reverend.
The Reverend,
Yeah, the Reverend.
you won for that?
That was his win.
That's an ass win. I don't even want that win.
Yeah, that's his win. That was one of those Omis. But I'm looking at this. Everything, Ever Once. Academy Award, Best Picture at one, Best Actress in Leading Role at one, Best Supporting Actress, Best Supporting Actor, Golden Globe, Best Actress, Academy Award, Best Directing, Critics' Choice, Golden Globe, Best Writing, Best Independent, Best Film Editing, Best Outstanding Performance Screen Actors Guild, Best Outstanding Performance Screen Actors Guild. I mean, it's got fucking like it's a Critics' Choice, Critics' Choice, Critics' Choice. It's got a clean sweep for this year on awards. Like
And
it's
that's the
won
thing.
everything.
I think people just out of touch, not knowing what's going on. You see one of the greatest black actresses
And that's the
that we
shit.
know of, and you see she doesn't have one. You see the role she played, great role, great movie. But it went up against a fucking monster. Obviously, as we can see, you win in more than one award show. What can you really expect?
And that's not a discredit to Angela Bassett because I liked her performance. I liked the movie, but it is. I do think it's more so like people just feel like she's due, and
Right.
people aren't looking at Jamie Lee Curtis like, oh, that's an all-star stellar. Like she's famous as fuck because she's been in the game so long. But nobody's looking at her like, oh, super stellar, crazy actress. I mean, she's a good actress. Don't get me wrong, but
Yeah.
I do think it's because Angela Bassett is due, and she's due. I mean, I'm sure she should have won for quite a few things by now. Like she's just a stellar actress, but for this one, it is what it is. Like this is a clean sweep. I still haven't watched the movie, so I got to watch it and see like if I come back and say that shit's whack or whatnot. But I think it's always telling if you get the Screen Actors Guild because I think that's voted by the actresses. So that shit's more like to me. That's like when the players vote for the awards, and you're like, okay, that shit's legit. When the actresses vote for it and you win everything, it's like, all right, they know more about the industry than me.
Right. Dex had a question. You think it has anything to do with black people being a Marvel movie? I don't think it had nothing to do with that. I think, like Dill just said, this shit is a clean sweep, bro.
It's a clean sweep.
Clean sweep. You can't even argue that shit.
It's a clean sweep.
Yeah.
You know what, Jade? I'm glad you commented because I forgot to put that on my. I think I forgot to put that on my list, but we'll get into that in a second. But yeah, shout out to Angela Bassett. Shout out to her. I hope she gets one. But we should watch that.
Down after that shit. She's still a legend.
Yeah, we should watch that movie sometime this week so we can see it. I'll have to find out what it's on. Damn, where did I want to go after that? I forget.
Oh shit, Jade gave us the oop. We could go at it.
Yeah, I'm in on that. That's your man. So you are Taxstone's #1 fan. You were Taxstone's #1 fan before I even listened to podcasts. I was moving back to Delaware from Florida. I said, I got a long ass drive. You said, you got to get into these podcasts, Brilliant Idiots, and this fucking guy named Taxstone you need to listen to. And I think one of the first ones I listened to was his interview with Joe Budden. And he was
classic.
Beanie Siegel, I think he had one. So they were good. That was I think you were #1 first guy on Taxstone. So
my introduction to Taxstone was basically the Brilliant Idiots. They had a classic episode that they deleted, but it's still on YouTube. Go check that out. It's called Head But a Bullet. Classic episode. Introduction to Tax. Everything you need to know about the guy. But Tax and Troy Ave case. Tax and Troy Ave get into an altercation backstage at a.
What's the breakdown on this, John? Huh? What's the breakdown on the whole situation?
Yeah, they get into an altercation in the back of the.
Before that.
Before that, they had problems in the streets. Tax is a self-proclaimed street guy, and Troy Ave as well is a self-proclaimed street guy. So I guess they had run-ins with each other outside of music, outside of podcasting, and they always had words for each other. Tax would diss him on his pod. Troy would have his little comebacks. Eventually, they run into each other. And it was fucked up to hear Casanova in the interview on the Breakfast Club say, man, I asked Tax to come out that night. He don't even do shit like that. But anyway, Troy Ave and Tax run into each other backstage at a concert. Troy Ave with a security guard banging. Apparently they get into a scuffle. Allegedly, from what was testified, because we never knew the whole story, but from what was testified by Troy Ave, Tax pulls out a gun, shoots Banger, shoots Troy Ave in both legs, and somehow loses the gun and runs out. Troy Ave shooting through the crowd, boom, boom, boom. Whole shit goes to shit. Tax is being looked for. Troy Ave being looked for.
All right, dude, fuck this.
What?
Because there's just a lot to this.
It's a lot.
That happened. So first of all, Taxstone, it was just a lot, bro. Like the more I look into it, the more I go like he's drawed a little bit. Not on this situation, but I'm looking at it. And the original beef, from what I got out of both of them, was, and I listened to Troy Ave. I like Troy Ave. I did like Troy Ave. I listened to him. I tried to get into it. And one of the reasons I liked Troy Ave was he had that song All About the Money. And then he had the other song, yeah, it's all about the money. It's all about the motherfucking money, or it's all about the drug money, whatever the fuck it was. Troy Ave got that from a guy named Manila Rose.
Manila Rose.
That was friends with Taxstone.
The Tax.
Troy Ave took that as his song and pushed it out as his single and kind of bumped him out a little bit and carried it like his single, and it's what got him more mainstream notoriety. So that's where the beef kind of started. And then if you look at it, Taxstone probably sent over 100 tweets to Troy Ave. Yo, you're pussy. Troy Ave's fake. Troy Ave doesn't do this. Dude, just chirping him over and over and over again. You're broke. You're not what you say you are. So-and-so, so-and-so. I mean, this goes on for what, 4 years?
Yeah, it was a good amount of time.
T.I.'s got a show in New York. Troy Ave is not performing, correct?
Nope.
Troy Ave's not performing. He goes there. They get in that John that you described where they see each other in the back. Girl gets shot. Troy Ave gets shot. Bodyguard gets shot. He dies. Troy Ave comes out of the building. He shoots. They both get arrested.
He shoots in the club, not out the building.
Mm-hmm. Yep. They both get arrested. Somebody tries to assassinate Troy Ave 4 months after this on the highway. Yep. Troy Ave's initial argument and statement, I guess, was Taxstone. They approached Taxstone with his brolic friend. Taxstone pulled the pistol out, shot his friend. Him and Troy Ave are wrestling. Troy Ave gets shot twice, wrestles the gun away from him. Tax runs. Here's where it gets tricky. Troy Ave goes to the court, John, and does his full statement yesterday, 2 days ago.
And he does the statement because he doesn't want to get pinned for killing his body.
He doesn't want to get charged with murder. So his whole thing is that his argument is self-defense. This is a self-defense case for him. Because Taxstone's attorneys manipulating it to say that Troy Ave's the one that killed his friend. And
there's no witnesses.
Is it still telling if it's a self-defense case? Because that's what's getting lost in translation here. Because from my, and I'm not capping for Troy Ave because I can give a fuck less. And from me, all the interviews he's done last year or so have made him corny. And I think he should have just took this, how I'm saying it is, from my understanding, if a motherfucker, if it comes down to you or him, and one of you guys is getting, somebody got killed, and one of you guys is getting charged, you're beefing, and they try to say it was him, and your defense is self-defense, that's not snitching. That's never what I got out of that. They're saying that he murdered his, Taxstone saying that he murdered his friend, and he's saying, no, I didn't murder my friend. This is what happened. Boom, boom, boom. So, like, how do you tell that story without saying, well, he killed them, and then I wrestled the gun away, and then I shot him? So, like, I don't.
Well, I think this is the whole street shit. And when the street shit to the code, you ain't supposed to take the stand. You're not supposed to talk to police. You can look at the camera situation when he gets shot in DC. He may know who shot him. That's not my job. That's your job. Y'all figure that shit out. Just get me to the hospital. I don't know nothing about none of that shit. That's a lot of people's stance in it. I think the fucked up part for Troy Ave is he's going to get pinned with this murder if he doesn't take the stand. And this goes to the point of like, don't claim that shit if you're not about that shit. So he claims it when it's convenient, but now his whole narrative, like you said in the interviews, is the streets is a myth. Yeah, I think it would just be easier if Troy Ave never portrayed that lifestyle of, oh, I'm this tough guy, I'm this street dude, I'm this hustler, blah blah. And then you get into this situation, and is it a tricky one? Yeah.
Well,
Do
that's
you want to
where,
get pinned for your man's murder? No, but that's why you have lawyers and they do their fucking job.
Here's where I'm lost at, though. So if Taxstone's lawyer is insinuating that Troy Ave murdered him, that's snitching to me as well.
Why?
If your defense is this guy murdered him, and I hired him to defend me, and that's what he's saying, then he's in the wrong as well. Because like all your lawyer should be doing is not pointing fingers, but saying he didn't do it, and there's no proof to say that he did it.
And this is why the whole thing is weird, is because it's like, even when you have that argument, right? Your lawyer is supposed to come up with the best case. You don't give a fuck what the lawyers say, as long as you ain't got to testify. That ain't got nothing to do with you.
Well, let's say let's play streets all the way. Like if we're gonna do the street code shit, it is all your lawyer should be doing is proving that there's no proof that you actually did it.
That's not the case, but that's the case.
That's the never case. Gone. If it, like motherfucker, if I'm out here and somebody shoots me, I shoot back, and my lawyer goes, he did it, then I'm a fucking rat.
How?
Because I'm co-signing him telling on somebody else.
You ain't co-signing shit. You paying this motherfucker.
I'm paying his fucking bills to point the finger at somebody else to get charged with a murder. That's telling too. It's the same kind of telling.
I guess you could look at it that way, but I feel like that's the lawyer's job, is to beat the case. Beat the case. And in Tax's situation, it's like Tax is playing the role of, I don't give a fuck what you gotta do. I'm not saying shit. But go ahead, beat the case.
Beat the case without solving the crime for the cops. Let them do their job.
Exactly, but also,
if I'm Taxstone, I'm going.
So what defense was he supposed to take?
There's no proof that I ever shot. Do I have gunpowder on my John? Do I have
any of that? That's the case.
Saying that?
But this is the thing. If you look at Tax's lawyer, and he's saying, "You never seen my client with the gun. You see him with the gun." That's the case.
Just leave him out of that part.
How are you leaving him out of it?
Like, you don't see my client with the gun, boom, done. I'm saying if we're gonna go, if we're gonna play code to code, let's do it all the way.
How if he's on camera with the gun?
I don't see how that's not telling too. I just don't see how that's not telling too. Is it a less version of telling? Is it a more passable version of telling? For sure. But if my defense is he did it, not me, it's telling.
I think if he wasn't on camera with the gun, okay. But he's on camera with the gun. All I feel like Tax lawyer is saying is, y'all see him with the gun. Y'all see my client running. He's the one running out. He got the gun. My client don't have the gun. Is that telling?
I don't like. Honestly, it's just so sticky. I don't really know. It's just a tricky situation. I don't know.
Yeah, it is. It's fucked
I really
up
don't know.
Like,
I don't know.
You don't want to see nobody doing life and shit, but at the same time, it's okay. His word against my word.
Yeah, I want to keep going on this, but I also want to interject right in the middle of that and say this is just such a avoidable situation.
Probably the most avoidable situation.
Such an avoidable situation, especially because if you look at it and go yeah, Troy Ave was a successful rapper, like a mid-tier successful rapper. Like he was making a living off rapping. Mm-hmm. So good for him. But Taxstone was on the fucking rise. Taxstone was on the rise to be right where
good episodes after this shit happened.
Buddy, Taxstone could have been right where Joe Budden and right where Gilly and Wallow were right now.
He was right there.
He had those $100 million deals. So just such an avoidable John, and then to play devil's advocate, because I don't want to see I don't want to seem like I'm on Troy Ave's side with this, because I'm not, because I think what he's doing is snitching as well, and I don't co-sign that as well. But if I'm going to a show to support Casanova, that's who was on the bill. So Casanova's on the bill. If I'm going to support my buddy, and this dude walks in with his brolic ass friend that I was talking shit on, now that they think they're gonna bitch me because this motherfucker's here with his buff friend, then yeah, I'm gonna have to defend myself. And if what I'm used to is making motherfuckers headbutt bullets, that's like my natural reaction. It's like, yo, get back the fuck. I don't know what the fuck these guys got on them. I don't know if they have pistols. They're not about to catch me on camera beating me up. So I don't know. It's weird. But then on the flip side of it, like Troy Ave shit is like, should he go to jail for life for killing his best friend when he knows who did it? And he knows that it was his fucking op that did it? Like,
I mean, but that's the whole thing of why play that game. Why are you playing the street game if you're not willing to take the consequences of the street game? And if everybody says, I mean, that's one of Jay-Z's classic bars. Chains is cool to cop, but more important is lawyer fees. Obviously, Tax got his lawyer situation. That's what it is. Troy ain't leaving it up to the lawyer, though. I think that's the part where it's like, all right, you taking the stand. Now, if Tax take the stand after he hears that, then it's like, okay, well, fair game.
And
but
I do think
not in this situation, whatever his defense is, that's what his defense is. I don't think he would be looked at as a snitch because his lawyer is taking the stance of like, my client ain't do this shit. Y'all don't see him on camera running around with a gun. This motherfucker was in a scuffle. Yeah, they got in a scuffle. In the scuffle, depending on how good your lawyer is, he could word it like, in the scuffle, he's boom, boom, fighting, pulling the gun, shoots himself twice, shoots his man because he's just pulling the trigger as we fighting, accidentally kills his friend. My client's running out the building. He's trying to leave. There's nobody saying Tax did it except this guy. It's you look at it from Tax perspective, he got a good case, but
it's a bad spot to be in.
It's a shitty spot. I mean, and like you said, it's probably the most avoidable situation because even on that, okay, if Casanova was on the bill, then
and I thought they proved that it was Taxstone's gun.
They may have. Jay just said his fingerprints was on the gun, but again, that's a lawyer could work around that. They fighting over the gun.
But the dude that sold it to him in Florida ended up telling as well.
Okay, I mean, well, there's a point. There's a point, but again, you don't see my client with the gun.
And so, like,
you don't see my client with the gun.
It's just such a
the gun fell before he could shoot it. It's so many arguments the lawyer could make to get around that. And I mean, obviously, for Troy Ave, if he is what he claimed to be, for him to take the stand, his lawyer must have said, "Bro, this shit ain't looking good." Like,
oh, he's scared. He's
the argument they got against you is rock solid. So unless you get up there and say something, you might do this time.
Because you think while they're scuffling, all people see is the flash going off, and the only person anybody sees really shooting is him when he's walking out the door to shoot.
That's it.
Like, it's hard for me to feel bad for either one because I do think Taxstone was bullying him, and I think if you are a fan of Tax and you watch any of his interviews or any of his pods, I mean that's the perception he had. It's like, yo, y'all motherfuckers run down on me, I'm shooting you. Simple as that. I'm gonna murder you. It is what it is. Was he Brooklyn on Brooklyn? I'll shoot you if it has to come down to it. And then on the flip side of that is, it's hard for me to feel bad for Troy Ave as well because you know Casanova's on the bill, so you know Taxstone's going to be there. Why'd you go to the show?
You know he's going to be there.
Why'd you go to the show? Unless you were looking for that. And if you're looking for that, like you and your like motherfuckers know how that shit is. If you're looking for an issue, you have to have the acceptance of we might get into some shit and some shit might happen, and that's kind of what you play with.
Happened tonight. And I mean, who knows what the situation would be if Troy Ave was the one that got murdered that night?
100%, I think they're both wrong.
It was just a dumbass situation.
Yeah, they're both wrong.
Dumbass situation. Okay, so why would you say Tax was wrong in that situation?
Because he bullied him for years.
But if somebody stole an artist, if I got Body coming out, and then you hear Joe Blow from around the corner rapping the shit, and you like, bro, I was just promoting that shit. Like, what the fuck is you doing?
That's fair enough. I guess like another aspect of that, like I'm believing in that talking into existence shit, and I think he talked these kind of situations into existence. Over and over and over. Motherfuckers run down on me, I'm shooting them. Over in every fucking interview. It don't matter to me because you play with me, I'll body you. I'm not scared to go to jail.
But he wasn't lying either.
He wasn't. So like I can't really feel bad for him.
I don't necessarily feel bad for him because I mean, if this is the situation he had, he made the bed and he got to lay in it, and I'm pretty sure he'll accept what come with it. Of course, he's gonna say everything he could say to get out the situation, but at the same time, it's like you assuming that you dealing with another quote unquote street dude, and like, bro, let that shit figure out in court. But and even with Troy Ave testifying, which it do look like Tax might go down after that shit. But even with him testifying, doesn't mean he about to go down. Depending on how good his lawyer is.
I was reading the reports. That shit said he gave a gripping testimony.
Yeah.
And he's a rapper, so you know he's good with words. Like, you know he told a very visual story, like a breakdown of like when he said I was fighting with him and I positioned my legs in between my chest and face to catch the bullet. Like I feel like I'm in that bitch watching, dog. That's why I fucking said we were wrestling like they grapple in high school match. Like, dog, I'm picturing this over and over. So
but again, a good lawyer could pick all that shit apart. And I'm not this joint ain't being televised, so we don't know the whole details. We just getting scripts from people in the courtroom, but depending on how good Tax's lawyer is, he could rip that shit to shreds if he wanted to. I'm not sure what the bag behind his lawyer looking like, but if it's serious, they know how to play with words just as well as a damn rapper.
In a best case situation, I would hope that they all got off, but I can't say.
I mean, and even if Tax do go down, is Troy Ave safe out here?
He already got shot, so like
that's what I'm saying. Like, is it going to be worse for you now? So say Tax does do the time, blah,
but I
blah.
can't imagine it gets any worse than it is now. He already got shot on the middle of the fucking intersection, and he's been saying for 3 years, I'm going to testify. It's not like he hid this.
I mean, death. Death, what's up? Dying, what's up?
Like you said, bro.
What's up as well, but
bro, just like you said, this the games you play.
Yeah.
Play the games like this. This is how it goes. Like,
it's the life you chose.
Also, Troy, bad karma, buddy. You made fun of that kid for committing suicide
back
in the day. So I remember that shit. The boy jumped off the bridge, splat. Heard that. Good for you, bud. Fuck them both.
Damn, shout out to Tax, man.
Fuck them both. To me, fuck them both.
Damn, that's harsh.
I hope they get out of. I mean, that's just a stupid situation to do.
It's dumb for sure.
Selfish. Like, there's two guys that are both in a position to help their families eat for years and years and years to come, and they just throw it away for some ego tripping bravado bullshit.
Yeah, but, I mean, at the end of the day, you're going to defend yourself, and what happens, happens.
Yeah, I mean, if I got the burner on me, two motherfuckers run down and look like
I'll say in the moment, both of them lived up to what they said they was, and it turned out ugly. And this is the outcome of that shit.
And I see why Troy Ave is doing it. I don't agree with it. And I'm never going to be in the situation, but if I was, I feel like I just have to let the lawyers fight it out.
That's what I'm saying.
Just like, if I made millions and millions off this image that I'm doing, I'm this kingpin in New York, I was this super trapper, blah, blah, like, let it play out, gang.
That's all anybody's saying is.
They got the fingerprints on the gun from Taxstone, and they got the motherfucker that said he sold the gun to him, so he obviously bung it into the club. No witnesses at that point. You let the lawyers fight it out.
Let them get paid. Let them do what they get paid to do.
Motherfucker ain't want to take that chance though. Good for him.
I don't know.
It was long-winded. Where you want to go after this?
We can wrap up The Last of Us.
Real quick, are you following the bank crisis at all?
Not. I seen that Silicon Valley Bank closed, and I seen a picture of Beverly Hills Bank. Everybody was going to do a money grab and get their money out the bank. We all know how that shit turns out. Always shitty because the bank never has your fucking money. And I seen the Wells Fargo shit over the weekend as well with people's deposits wasn't hitting, and apparently they was moving money around and fucked shit up. So.
Silicon Bank is the country's 16th largest lender, big backer for Roku, and I forget the other one. So potentially a lot of people lost a lot of money. You're federally secured or insured for $250,000. Joe Biden came out and said everybody will get their money back, but we're not going to bail the banks out, which, I mean, that means you're going to bail the banks out. You say everybody's going to get their money back. Signature Bank also closed, and Silicon Valley I think this is the biggest bank crash since 2008. So, I mean, we've been saying this for a year, but recession's here.
Yeah.
I mean, it's here. Bank crisis. I mean, it's not looking good. So, yeah. I mean, that shit is scary to think about, though. Like, if you got that much money in the bank and, like, one day that shit makes you want to keep cash in the crib.
Yeah. It's a certain demographic that does that. I'm not going to put that stereotype on them on the podcast.
You know, I just found out what meet the flacas means like a few months ago.
YG?
Mm-hmm.
He said it in the song.
Yeah, I didn't. Like, sometimes I just listen, but I didn't realize that's a whole LA culture of you rob Asians because they don't believe in banks.
Yeah. Yep.
Wow.
Yep. And I mean, they got the right idea.
Canceled.
Yeah. We out of here.
Canceled. And last one before we get into Last of Us, Jill Biden gave out her annual President's Award of Women of Courage. It's 11 women every year. And one of the 11 women was a trans woman born biologically a male. Do we have anything for that? Do we care?
In the grand scheme, do I care? No. Yeah. For sake of argument, is it whack? Yes.
I feel like I would like to have a non-liberal woman on here to tell me why this shit's unfair.
I would love to hear that opinion.
Like, I would love to hear why, like, it's already hard enough for women to succeed and they already get not as much recognition or as compliments as they deserve. And they've been clawing up to try and have this equal pay, equal ground. I mean, fucking girls couldn't vote, like 60 years ago, like 70 years ago. So, like, but also on the adamant, like, I'm also on the point of, if you want to be a girl and say you're a girl, I don't really give a fuck. I don't care. But,
yeah, I just think taking accomplishments away from quote unquote women-born women, I think that does suck because I would be kind of annoyed if it happened to me.
Yeah, because
I'll say this: I could see how somebody is annoyed or feels wrong if that's happening to them or whatever the case may be. If it's a thing for specifically women and somebody says they're identifying as a woman and next thing you know, you're out of something because of that situation.
And like opportunities are already scarce. And like this might be an extreme example. And like maybe I'm fucking stupid for saying it. But like if I identified as being black, which I don't, so I get just to clarify. But if I identified as being black and I got a minority scholarship, that would be fucked up.
Yeah.
Only a certain amount that goes around.
Yeah.
I think that would be a little fucked up to me. So like when I see shit like that, I'm like, all right, cool, like whatever floats your boat on the day to day. But when you start taking away opportunities and like awards and shit that are specifically for a demographic that doesn't have many, it's a little iffy to me.
Yes, it's fucked up, man. I could definitely. I always understand people being annoyed with it. In my life, do I really care about it? No. Should I care about it? Maybe. But I mean, it's like it's definitely from the outside looking in. It's like damn, that's fucked up. Like, and I'll leave it at that. Like, that is fucked up that they taking shit from people that have done it their whole life, and now all of a sudden you can claim to be whatever you want, and you may lose opportunity or whatever it is for that. It's kind of fucked up.
And I do want to say before we get off this that like I don't know what the fuck she won the award for. So like she could have accomplished some amazing things, and all credit to her. Still fucked up in my mind.
Yeah, she could. Yeah. I mean, you'll be okay without the award.
She could have did some crazy shit, and like that's what's up. But like, yeah. All right, you want to do Last of Us? Wrap it up.
Last of Us. Was this the best season 1 of any show ever? Episode for episode, pound for pound, best season 1 of any show ever.
Did you like the last episode?
Fire. You didn't?
I just overthink shit a little bit, you know.
Okay, well, let's. Where are we going?
All right, so like, yeah, was it the best show ever? First episode, first season. It is one of the outside of Euphoria, because I think we don't like live in the moment sometimes.
No. That's the question. We got time to debate.
I say like outside of Euphoria, because like I'm gonna say this is the first show I looked at week by week. I knew it was coming on at 9. I knew it was gonna hit my Amazon Prime at 9 p.m. I knew I was gonna be able to turn that bitch on, and I wasn't watching it with my phone. And if I did have my phone out at all, I'm downloading it. And I'm watching on the treadmill the next day again.
Right.
Like, this might be the first show I watched multiple episodes, multiple times.
Right.
So, like, amazing show. The last episode felt quick, felt rushed. I think it was the shortest episode. It was like I was watching it, boom, boom, boom. No resolution to the real problem. And then, like, to me, I'm looking at it, I'm going, all right, our viewers hopped off, so I can really deep dive into this. Because our Last of Us listeners really like this shit. Logically thinking, Joel's an idiot.
Okay. I thought that was probably the great part of the episode and why it could be rushed or whatever you want to say, because he made a decision that many may have not or did agree with. And I feel like for him to make, okay, spoiler, Joel decided to kill everybody.
Mm-hmm. That was swag, though. The sequence and how they shot it was amazing.
What? Joel decided to literally kill everybody.
And I know that was the video game part of it, and I know they were going crazy with that, but the sequence of, like, it almost felt like checkpoints as him, like, hitting corners, boom, boom, boom. Next, John's on next level, boom, 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 boom. Just fucking John Wicken, just going crazy, dog.
Joel decided to kill everybody, not let them do the surgery on Ellie to see if this procedure will work, knowing it would kill her. It was probably one of the biggest, I would say a top 5 like moment in a TV show, making the decision not to kill. And we could see, like, I think the great part of the show is like you could see it gradually building their relationship to the point of like, oh, she has to die? Because I only came here for a fucking battery. I came here for a fucking battery.
To go find my brother who I found 4 episodes
I found my brother already. I'm here just to get a battery. But the bond they had built over 9 episodes, and then to see it come to the point of, nah, y'all not about to kill what he deemed his baby girl. Like, y'all not about to take, like, how I'm supposed to keep moving without this shit. And beautiful. That part right there alone was just like, damn, like, this is great TV. This is great entertainment. And I think the fucked up part about it was that he lied to her about the situation. Was when he got back in the car, she's like, are you lying to me? And he telling her, oh, they did all these tests on other people. It didn't work. They're fine. The lady's fine that raised her, which is fucked up. But yeah, I think that's the great part of the show. Like, he's trying to do good and doesn't see the bad in what he did. I guess he does see the bad in what he did, but at the same time, like, I don't want you to fucking die. And that shows the bond between him and her. And I think even in his mind, when she saved his life, like, nah, I gotta save her life at this moment.
Yeah, I think it was stupid as fuck. I did love how, like, right before they got to the part where they got attacked and they took her. I'll go into it, don't worry. I thought, like, right up to the part, like, right before they got attacked, where he was like, yeah, we could just go back to my brother's, John, and we could chill. Like, we don't got to worry about this shit. And she was like, no, we came too far. Let's see it out. A few stupid points for me. Why does the lady wake him up and then tell him they're going to kill him?
Yeah, I didn't understand.
Don't tell him. Don't tell him until she's dead, dog. Don't tell him until it's late. And it's like, yo, he's telling him this is the only girl. And here's why it happened, because the flukeness of her being born exactly when her mom got bit and her mom cutting off the fucking umbilical cord right before, like, shit all the way goes.
Which she lied about, but yeah.
The mom?
Yeah, because she got bit, then she had the baby, then.
Yeah, that was sick. Yeah. That was a cool scene, too.
Yeah.
Like, walking into the mom, and the mom's got the knife right at the neck, like, ready to just go. But, like, yo, lie to him and don't tell him about it. Right? And then I was thinking, like, he's going through that shit. Like, you know, what's funny is he walks in, he's killed just 50 people in a row, right? And he walks into the surgeon goes, I'm not going to let you take her. And he has his little, like, scalpel.
Right.
Like, dog, he just fucking killed 50 people. Right. I did let that motherfucker just brain pop, dog, dead. He gone. But I thought right as soon as he did that, I goes, I bet there's not a lot of brain surgeons left in the fucking world either.
No.
Like, I'm sure there's not a lot. Like, that might be the only fucking brain surgeon left. I get it. It's just, like, logically thinking, I mean, it's full circle again, right? Like the same way that one kid was gonna die.
Mm-hmm.
And the girl, when they got attacked by zombies, goes, "Yo, kids die. This is life.
Yep.
This shit
Yep.
happens." And like this is the exact situation. Is she could have died and saved the fucking world. Like she would have
Mm-hmm.
saved millions and millions and millions of
We
kids.
don't know that though.
But she could have, you know.
Possibly, yeah.
But I'm with you to where him and the lady, I think it was Marlene, Mary Ellen, one of those two,
Mm-hmm.
they both just should have told Ellie.
Yeah, that you're gonna die.
Here's the situation. You're gonna die with this. You have the chance. We figured out why it works. They already think you're infected. We could potentially make the vaccine and it works, or maybe it doesn't. But there is an off-shot chance, but you will die from it. Do you want to do this? And if it's a no, then we just have to wait until she dies and then take her brain.
Mm-hmm.
So they both were unethical on that. And the Firefly people have to come hard after this. Because the nurses are going to tell he should have killed the nurses too.
Oh yeah, I don't know why he left anybody living. I get what you're saying, but at the same time, they literally traveled the country together, built a what we seen on the show, Unbreakable Bond. If you in that situation, what are you doing?
See, that's the shit is like, if I think about it logically, I'm like, all right, this is one of my god kids or somebody I feel like that. Like, obviously, I'm not gonna be like, yeah, kill them. But like, if they're 14 and 15, yeah, I'll probably do the same shit. Actually, I probably wouldn't tell them.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
wouldn't tell them. Yeah, I wouldn't tell them. I'd probably tell them when they were like 20.
Yeah, they were gonna kill you. Yo. I'm sorry, but I couldn't do that shit.
Can't hold you. Like, I lied about that shit. There's not multiple people. You're probably the only person that could save the world. But you're gonna die doing it.
Yeah, I think the only bad part, which season 2 is probably gonna bite him in the ass, is I feel like they're gonna end up back at his brother's spot. He already told his brother that
so the word's already out. The word's already out. The word's already out. Like,
yeah, she's immune to the shit. So I feel like when they get back there, it's gonna be like, so what the fuck happened? And he's gonna come up with a bullshit story, like you said. Firefly's gonna come full force at him, and shit, sky's the limit from there. But that ruins their whole community because they're gonna come looking for her. So yeah, I mean, like I said, right now I think we at the part where, okay, where does this rank in TV shows first season?
yeah, okay. From recent memory, any shows, because I watched this HBO season 1. The Sopranos is amazing. The Wire is amazing. True Detective season. Damn, HBO's got some shit, don't they?
They only put out hits. They only put
True
out
Detective
hits.
season 1's probably one of my favorite TV shows ever. Definitely Euphoria. It's such a different show. Fuck, man. Yeah, I mean, this might be, and Yellow Jackets I keep talking about. This might be the best show ever for season 1.
For 9 episodes, I would have to say this might be the best show ever. And it's crazy to say that because they already got a game of the show before the TV show even came out. But the way they put it on screen, the actors they got, the acting they did. If this don't win every fucking award at the next year award show, shit. I don't know what the fuck is going on.
This one and Euphoria, I keep going back to Euphoria because I'm thinking it might be my favorite number 1, but it's such a different show.
Personally, I feel like it could be.
But just thinking those two shows did such a good job of having me invested into multiple characters. Like just developing, each show developed like 15 characters throughout 10 episodes. And that's super hard to do. Because now I'm invested in Ellie. I'm invested in Joel. I was invested in the fucking Kingpin leader. I was invested in the guy and his little brother. I'm invested in his brother and his wife and the baby they have coming. Like, there's so much different characters now. The two gay fellas, like, it's just so much fucking different characters.
They had one-off episodes where you're like, damn, this shit fucking good.
It's crazy.
And I would say the only one that maybe is the mall episode, but even in the mall episode, you see the relationship she had with the girl. She finds out in the episode that she's immune. You find out that she likes the girl. They kiss or whatever, then loses her. It was, And then in the episode where after that, she explains what happens that day in the mall. She explained to Joe what happened in the mall. Yeah, she wanted us to kill ourselves, blah, blah. I couldn't do it. That was just some crazy. Yeah, man. Top three. I'll say top three all time. First season.
Yeah, I'd have to skip. I'd have to go one A, one B for that and Euphoria, just because they're so different. One's fantasy, one's reality. And Euphoria did pretty much the same thing. Like one individual episode. You know what was a fucking like? It's funny looking back on shows now because in the moment you're like, wow, this is fucking amazing. 13 Reasons Why season 1 was fucking crazy, dog.
Crazy.
Like that was a crazy.
That's in there, bro. That's in the top 5.
Like, I think like that's one of those shows that went too long because season 2 was okay and then season 3 and 4 were just shit.
Yeah.
But since like season 1, same way, like character development and how it's the same situation, but from like because that's a cool concept. It's the same exact timeline, but from 13 different people's views or 12 people's different views. Like that's up there for me as well.
So good of a show, and it got so bad, I forgot about the show. But that season 1 is definitely in the conversation to the point you have to take episodes out.
Yeah,
like that's how good your shit was. Like we gotta take episodes out. Oh my gosh, yeah,
that was amazing. Yeah.
I ain't gonna say top 5, but I like Snowfall season 1. That shit was crazy.
Agreed. And you have to. I mean, there's just so many. You have to put The Wire in there, and you have to put Sopranos in there.
Yeah. You never watched Breaking Bad, but Breaking Bad, crazy.
I watched season 1 of Breaking Bad.
You didn't like it?
It was good.
You gotta rewatch it, bro.
It was good. I did. I watched season 1 of Breaking Bad when I was in high school.
Damn, I didn't get that early.
Yeah, I caught it when it first came out.
Oh yeah, I was way late. I was whenever Netflix dropped, that's when I tuned in.
That was good. And then you just have like comedy shows and shit like Atlanta. Like it's just hard to like kind of put those in there. But yeah, 13 Reasons Why is up there. Euphoria is up there. The Wire, The Sopranos, Last of Us, and True Detective. I don't know if you're a True Detective guy, but True Detective season 1 is probably top 3 for me, top 5 for me, for sure.
I'll watch it, but I just haven't curved out the time.
It's another one that fucked it up with the seasons because they do that where there's different main characters for every season. So season 1 was Matthew McConaughey, who I think is fucking a superb actor, and Woody Harrelson in a serious role, which was very interesting. So I mean, that's up there for me too.
Right.
Yeah, good TV, man.
Yes, sir.
Good TV. Random thoughts?
Random thoughts. I was listening to Flagrant earlier. They had somebody talking about ancient history and what we really don't know. And my random thought is it's weird that we act like, or people act like we got the answers to everything from the past and as it pertains to history. And we really have no answers to none of that shit. They were talking about how the pyramids got built and how impossible it could be to be built by hand.
Don't jump on the atheist train now, dog.
This ain't no atheist shit. But just it being built by hand. And yeah, I feel like
I watched some shit
like we got the answers to history and we don't know none of that shit. Like it's so certain. He was talking about how archaeologists will say, "Oh, this got built by this," but then you get an engineer out there and be like, "That shit makes zero sense. It's impossible for that shit."
Yeah, because some of them say like they had a levee system that they were doing and they could do this.
Fuck no. He broke all that shit down. He broke down how they knew that the Earth was round and we didn't know the Earth was round until whenever. And he broke down how they knew the length of the Earth, the diameter of the Earth, and we didn't know it until whenever. So it's just interesting to hear people with knowledge of ancient history and how we'll act like we got the answers, but we have no idea how that shit got built.
Yeah, because they say shit like that with that, the Stonehenge shit. Like,
yeah.
Dude, I'm big on like God could have been an alien and like they do like Zeus and all them, they could have been aliens. I'm also like, it could have been time travelers. I don't fucking know.
It could have been all that shit. I mean, I'm big on the like obviously I believe in God, but also like I'm not naive to think that the Earth has been here for billions of years and we just happen to just stumble upon all this shit. Nah. And I'm pretty sure there was an advanced civilization before us.
100%.
Had to be.
100%. And just the fact that we had dinosaurs is crazy.
Come on, man.
Like,
And that was millions of years ago.
We'll save that for another time. So did you care about Sierra's outfit?
Nah, what was the problem with her outfit?
It was like she wore a see-through dress with the tits out.
Yeah, I seen that.
And everybody was like, "Oh, it's crazy. Thought she was a church girl."
Oh my gosh.
Who cares?
Nah, yeah, nobody.
My random thought for the week is they're doing your boy Lamar dirty.
They fucking him over, man.
And I think it's definitely collusion.
They fucking him over. I like what Bomani said about it. You don't want to call it collusion, but it sounds and looks like collusion.
It's collusion, man. Like, there's never been an MVP at his age with the amount of. I think he's got more wins than every other quarterback.
Yep.
Like, more at his age, more wins than and it's not even close.
Yep.
Like, here's a proven guy that's going to get your team 11 to 12 wins a year just by having him, and he's had a shit offense surrounding him, like shit weapons surrounding him his whole career. And all of a sudden, they're like, he doesn't have an agent, so he's getting all the bag to himself. And now all of a sudden, everyone's like, oh, we don't want him? We're good?
And I think what's going to happen is free agency is going to happen. The draft's going to happen. And somebody will sign him. I doubt he plays a down for $34 million a year because he's worth way more. If Daniel Jones is getting 40-some million a year, it's no way Lamar's going to play for 30-some. But if I'm Lamar, I'm not playing for that. And it doesn't seem like Lamar has the most extravagant lifestyle to where as though he couldn't. And for what it's worth, there's other opportunities now. We got the XFL, we got the USFL. And the XFL just packed out a stadium with 38,000 people. So Lamar Jackson go to the fucking XFL, like, yo, it's an alternate route out here.
I just don't understand. Like, I don't claim to be the biggest football guy, but I know enough about it now just because I've been invested in football or fantasy so long. Is like, and you know I'm a Derek Carr guy. Like, I love Derek Carr. But in what world does it make sense to go get Derek Carr or go get a 38-year-old Aaron Rodgers or go sign a Jimmy G when Lamar Jackson's out there?
It doesn't make any sense. Like you said, collusion is one thing, but I like Lamar's stance. Like, all right, do what y'all gonna do. Rock out, do your thing. I'll be fine. I'm Lamar Jackson. Like I said, if he go play in the XFL and light that shit up, sell out every fucking game. Granted, you only play probably like 8 games, but you can go play 8 games instead of 17 and decrease your risk of CTE. Rock the fuck out.
I don't get it, man. I just one of those joints I'm watching unfold, and I'm like, maybe people should be a little more upset about this.
I feel like people are, but at the same time, people have learned from the Kaepernick situation, and they know not to go too far with the shit.
Hands up. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, man. That's views.
Views from the chair, man. Until next time.